Hi there, my name is Josh, and I wanted to welcome you to day one of your free exclusive reputation training class. Today you're going to be discovering the 7 biggest mistakes, reputation mistakes, that you definitely want to avoid. You'll also discover what they are and how to take advantage of them, and the solutions to avoiding these 7 deadly reputation mistakes. Now I'm going to give the mic over to Ed so he can explain what these mistakes are and so that you can benefit from them.
Hey everyone, so I'd like to go over exactly what Total Online Reputation is. This is a course that is new and there's nothing like this out there. I've been involved on online marketing for many years now, and there's really nothing quite like this. And the reason why is because this course actually takes all the lessons that I've learned through marketing, online marketing, public relations, online reputation management, through actually doing it and getting results for clients that paid me $10,000 or more a month to help them fix and immunize their online reputation. And I created a course that will help anyone learn from scratch, and it's really not hard whatsoever. So the online reputation course, TOR, Total Online Reputation, includes 4 main modules. Within those 4 modules are lessons, and there are 21 total lessons. These lessons are in the format of videos that I present to you, and the videos have PowerPoints with some tips in them. There's some case studies of real-world situations that we were in. And for your convenience, all the videos have full transcripts in PDF forms that you can download. So it doesn't matter how you like to learn, whether it's video or you're more a visual person, or whether you like to read things and have things printed out and make notes yourself. It's all there for you. Let's get into an outline of online reputation management. The first module talks about what it is, who is this course for, the opportunity for riches, meaning how you can make money and really boost your income by becoming an online reputation management expert, why you might need ORM, the different scenarios, and our secret formula to dominating online reputation management. The next module talks about, first of all, what not to do. Sometimes that's as important as what to do. Secondly, we have how to actually take down complaints permanently forever. This is actually a substantial subject in itself, so we split it up into 2 parts. It doesn't apply to all situations, but there are certainly situations where you can take down complaints permanently, and we've done this before. Finally, what everyone probably is wondering about is what to do with Rip-Off Report, Complaints Board, and Piss Consumer. These 3 specific complaint sites are the thorn in the side for most people that are dealing with online reputation management. Next module is regarding monitoring reputation. You can't fix something if you don't know that there's something wrong. So there's 3 lessons and a case study here talking about why it's important to monitor and how to do manual checks, how to use the power of Google Alerts, and how to do social media monitoring. And the case study is on Google Knowledge Graph, and we'll delve into that a little bit more. It's actually really interesting stuff. The final module is a big one. This one is talking about short-term tactics on how to do quick fixes on reputation if it's been damaged. The first module talks about an overview of pay-per-click ads. The second module, part A, talks about how to put out a press release. The second module, part B, talks about wire services. We give you an overview of all the main wire services and which one to use and how much they cost. And the third part of part B, part 2, is a spreadsheet comparing the different wire service companies. We've done all this research, so it's going to save you a lot of time, a lot of money, and it's going to give you the most powerful wire service to use. In fact, that alone would probably help you recoup the cost of the course right there. The third lesson in this module is talking about the power of social media profiles. The fourth lesson is talking about local or business directories. And we also have a spreadsheet for you of the top 50 business directories out there. The fifth lesson is talking about Google Places, which is formerly known as Google Maps. The sixth one is talking about Craigslist. And the seventh one is talking about Amazon and how to sell physical products on Amazon. Even if you don't have a product, why you should think about whipping up a real simple, cheap product to sell on Amazon to help you with your online reputation management. So that's it for the course overview. As you can see, there's a lot of info in there. There's hours of videos, and it's really simple, presented really simply. So this is something that you really need to act on. Get it now, and it's going to help you save a lot of time, and it's going to help you make a lot of money.
Okay, welcome to Total Online Reputation, the 7 biggest mistakes made in online reputation management, and how you can avoid them. My father once taught me that a person's reputation is worth more than gold, and that saying has stuck with me my whole life. Money can come and go, but your reputation once out there is very difficult to change. It's hard to repair a damaged reputation, but it's so easy to damage a good reputation. The way I like to think of it is imagine a clear glass of purified water that's perfect for drinking. It's crystal clear. And then imagine taking an eyedropper and squeezing in a few drops of black ink. Pretty quickly, that clear water is now muddied. And reputation is similar. What you spend years or even your whole life building can be quickly torn down by just the insane viral nature of the internet. And that's accelerated these days by real-time social media websites and tools. Now, in the past, there was obviously no need for online reputation management since most people weren't online. Reputation was what you built through mass media advertising and promoted through public relations in the newspapers, television, or radio. It was expensive and generally the purview of large companies or famous personalities who hired publicists. Small businesses built reputation through word of mouth, and the extent of building a brand or destroying it was limited to how fast or far the word of mouth could go. But today, it's a whole new ballgame. According to the Pew Research Center, nearly 60% of Americans research a product or service online prior to purchasing, and almost 25% of them will leave some kind of online comment regarding the purchase. And both numbers have risen in the last 5 years and is expected to rise further. Small businesses can be hurt immensely by negative reviews on Google Places, Yelp, TripAdvisor, Amazon, or specialized consumer complaint websites like Pitts Consumer or Ripoff Report. To make matters worse, just a tweet on Twitter or a post on Facebook can go global in a matter of seconds. And this is magnified for larger companies, brands, and people. Bad press can lead to a rapidly spreading narrative that even the most seasoned corporate communications team would be hard-pressed to get ahead of. So who's this course or this presentation really for? Well, if you're reading or watching this, you likely fall under one or more of the following categories. You work in marketing or branding for a company, large or small. You are a search engine marketing practitioner looking to learn a new skill. You're a branding advocate or expert seeking ways to get control of reputation. Maybe you're an owner of a company and you're deeply concerned about how you're viewed online. Or you're just completely brand new to this entire area and you're interested in learning more. Either way, almost no business or professional can afford to ignore online reputation management any longer. Those who do so at their own peril. What is ORM? ORM stands for Online Reputation Management. It's the discipline of monitoring, fixing, and immunizing your reputation on the internet. ORM requires multiple skill sets, including search engine optimization, public relations, social media, customer service, and just plain old common sense. The most successful ORM, just as in search engine optimization, is one that takes a strategic and holistic approach to managing one's brand and reputation. Many mistake ORM for a suite of tactics that you deploy while you are in a crisis mode over some bad customer complaint somebody left online. But really, ORM is less effective in these cases. It's not a great quick fix or a magic cure for perils of your company's ills, but rather it must be adopted as a strategic initiative and permeate your entire organization to be the most effective. Now, this report aims to give you some insight into the ins and outs of ORM, and by giving you the 7 big mistakes that are often made which can negatively impact your online reputation. often during the course of trying to fix things. Sometimes knowing what not to do is just as important as knowing what to do. After all, if you were driving off a cliff, step one would be changing course before you plunge off. So here are the 7 big mistakes that we're going to go through one by one. Mistake number 1, arguing with angry customers online. Now, we all know the internet is perfect for fostering online conversations. Message board threads and comment threads can go on and on with people posting their opinions and replying to others' opinions. When faced with a customer complaint or a customer lying, it's tempting to try to set the record straight right there and then. After all, you want to make sure that your point is being made, and you don't want the complainer to kind of perpetuate the lies and the misconceptions. But I'm here to tell you that one of the worst things you can do is get into a lengthy back and forth argument online with a complainer. There are 3 reasons why. First and foremost, it actually backfires and keeps that web page ranked high on Google. In some cases, you posting constantly on that one thread will actually boost the page higher on Google, completely opposite of what you want. The reason this is so is that one of the many factors that Google looks at to rank web pages higher is relevant content and the freshness of that content. So all things being equal, a web page with a couple of posts from a couple of years ago will rank lower than a web page with numerous posts every other day. And second, it just plain looks bad. While you may feel the need to rebut the complainer and respond to each of his complaints, in many ways that constant back and forth can look unprofessional. Other readers may find it to be defensive and argumentative. You're almost always very emotional, often angry about seeing the post, and that often leads to poor choices of words. And the more you post, the greater the chance that you're going to eventually say or type something you'll later regret. Remember, when you type on the internet, it has a shelf life of forever. There are all sorts of examples of online exchanges going awry and spreading virally, so avoid that. Third, it is likely ineffective. While some complaints are legitimate and can be resolved, other people just like to complain to hear the sounds of their own voices. For these people, nothing you do will ever placate their nastiness. Therefore, going back and forth with them will do nothing except excite them even further. In internet lingo, these types of people are called trolls, not because they look ugly or have warts on their noses, but because they are trolling for arguments online. So what should you do? Well, keep your reply to one post, one and only one. Have restraint. Email your reply that you are about to post to yourself and sleep on it for one night. Then the next day, read it over and make changes. Summarize your position and clarify the situation using facts, data, and logic, not emotions. And keep your tone polite and somewhat formal. Finally, provide an email address or phone number that they can use to try to resolve the situation if needed. Doing this will keep the post from having constantly fresh content, which Google loves. It will make you sound more professional and courteous, and it will provide an avenue for the aggrieved party to contact somebody. Mistake number 2, ignoring truthful complaints. When finding negative reviews on search engines can be like a punch to your gut, especially if they aren't true or at best are a distortion of the truth, there is a silver lining to the dark clouds. Think of it this way. Would you rather not know what your customers are unhappy about while you struggle to build your business year after year? Would you rather have your head in the sand as you wonder why your sales continue to slide? For the good of your business, you need to hear the truth, even if it hurts. Before the explosion of online reviews, bad customer experiences were basically limited to the speed of word of mouth, as we mentioned earlier. And now, with the integration of social media in our everyday lives, a bad experience can fly across the internet in the click of a mouse and find a permanent home on the first page of Google. The way to think of it is like cancer. If you're diagnosed early, your odds of surviving are much higher than if you discover it in final phases. Complaints are like a cancer for your business. It can eat away until there's nothing left, and ignoring the cancer will definitely not make it go away. Think of online negative reviews as the canary in the coal mine, warning you that there may be a serious problem you need to look into. The rule of thumb is that for every person that complains online, there's likely at least 10 times the number of people who are angry for the same reason. Think about it. How angry does someone have to be to turn on the computer, get on the internet, find a complaint site, often create a user account, then type out a long complaint? Most people wouldn't even spend the time to do so. So to sum it up, think of online complaints as doing your business a favor. Do not ignore online complaints. It can be a signal that there is something seriously wrong. Research in depth the alleged complaints and be honest. If the complaints are true, aggressively work on resolving the issues. Remember to stick to the one post rule, but try and deal with it away from the message board, either by email or phone. Mistake number 3, not following through with promises. As any parent with children knows, making a promise and breaking it is far worse than having never made the promise in the first place. Your promise is first and foremost in the child's mind. They will remind you endlessly, and should you break that promise, they will throw a fit and likely remember it until their dying days. Customers are the same way. If you promise to look into a situation and get back to them on a certain date, you best make sure you do so. If you promise to send out a replacement unit, follow up with a tracking number. If you promise to do what you can to improve on a process that failed, make a note to update the customer on what changes were made. Also keep in mind UPOD, UPOD, under-promising and over-delivering. That's always a great rule of thumb. But UPOD's evil twin that you should avoid is, of course, OPUD, OPUD, over-promising and under-delivering. That's a big no-no. For companies without a formalized process to document these items, such as a customer relationship management tool, what is often referred to as CRM, something like Salesforce.com or something else, you can just use something like a Google Docs spreadsheet. The best thing about Google Docs is that it can be shared with your coworkers and updated in real time, and best of all, it's free. So simple steps to follow. Go to docs.google.com, sign up for an account or log in with your existing Google account, and create some sort of a process. Document each step with detailed dates and notes. For instance, day 1, customer posts complaints. Day 2, you investigate. Day 4, put together a thoughtful apology and plan. Communicate this to the customer. Day 6 and 8, follow through and follow up and loop back. Something like this can be effectively done for free on Google Docs to make sure that you're following through with your promises. Mistake number 4, not building websites to purpose. Most sites built for ORM purposes just seem to look like they are a fake site. If a real visitor can sniff out that a site is stuffed with keywords and seems thrown together for no other reason than to try and rank high on Google, you can bet that Google can do so as well. The success of Google's search engine is the fact that its results are great at delivering almost exactly what the searcher is looking for. What this means is that each website you are building for ORM have to be built to purpose. Each of those sites needs a theme, great relevant content, and a reason for being. Here are some purposes you can build a website for. Nonprofit. Create a nonprofit organization for a company or product's name. You'll do some good while you try to rank higher on Google. Educational. Teach your visitors something related to a company, product, or service. Historical. Is there a rich story lurking behind how your company started? People love stories. Add color to the stories with pictures, illustrations, and videos if possible. Awards. One great idea is to create an award with the name of a company or product and the name of the award. Then create a website outlining who the award is for, what the applicant has to do to enter, what they win, and what it has to do with the company sponsoring it. Do some PR and advertising, and you have a recipe for some prime page 1 results on Google. Scholarships, similar to awards. Games. What's called gamification is all the rage right now. It is relatively cheap and easy to find developers to build a flash game or some other online short game. Many brands are doing this and finding great success. Mistake number 5, forgetting to verify with Google Webmaster Tools. One reason why newer websites just don't seem to rank well on Google may be forgetting to get verified with Google Webmaster Tools, which is a free toolkit that Google offers, which really offers some nifty benefits. Its primary focus is in keeping websites clean, neat, and correct. It also forces designers and webmasters to comply with best practices in terms of the layout and design, reducing the number of errors encountered by Google's automatic bot that scours the internet. Getting up and running with Google Webmaster's Tool is very simple. It's free, and all you have to do is go to google.com/webmaster/tools. Next, it's time to verify that you own the website through a verification process. There are 4 options provided, and none really offer any unique benefit over the other 3. The one that we recommend is using an HTML file upload. You simply move an HTML file into the root directory of your website, and if that sentence made no sense whatsoever, ask a web designer or suck up to a friend who knows basic web design. Then you simply click on Verify, and voila! Information from Google Webmaster Tools for your website is complete. Mistake number 6, not monitoring daily or in real time. At the risk of overusing the health analogy, earlier in terms of bad online reputation being like cancer, you won't know if you have cancer unless you go for regular screenings and checkups. Similarly, you won't get early warnings that there are complaints if you're not monitoring your online reputation regularly. If your reputation is extremely important, you may even need a real-time monitoring solution. Now, besides doing a manual search for your brand name on Google by typing it in and seeing what's on the first 3 or 4 pages, you really need to be taking advantage of some tools that let you know what people are saying about you online. One of the best tools that is free is from, you guessed it, Google. Google Alerts. Google Alerts notifies you whenever a name that you designate comes up for the first time on the internet. Many PR pros use Google Alerts to let them know when their clients get online coverage. And while Google Alerts is indeed a fine way to know if there's news about you, it also scours message boards, blogs, and other lesser-known websites. Getting started is simple. Go to google.com/alerts. Follow the step-by-step instructions. In the search query, type in the brand name, company name, or person's name that you want to be alerted on. Under result type, select everything. This includes the web, news, blogs, video, discussions, and books. If this becomes overwhelming, come back later and change it to something else so you aren't bombarded with too many alerts. For how often, if you want instant updates, select as it happens. You can also choose once a day or once a week. For how many, select all results. Enter your email address that you want to receive the alerts and click Create Alerts, and that's it. At the time of writing this report, one of the top free social media monitoring tools is Hootsuite. One of the features includes tracking brand mentions across multiple social media sites such as Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, and others. New tools are always coming out, so you may wish to do a search for free social media monitoring once in a while to see what's the latest and greatest. So between Google Alerts and Hootsuite, you now have most of the internet covered for free, and knowing is really half the battle. Finally, mistake number 7, only thinking short-term and not long-term. As we mentioned early on in the introduction, the discipline of ORM is an all-encompassing one. Many view ORM as something short-term or worse, shady. This is mostly thanks to the bombardment of companies like Reputation.com on the radio and internet talking about how easy it is to remove and push down negative listings on Google. In some sense, these types of reputation management firms have garnered a reputation no better than the credit score fixers have. Ironically, if you Google the names of some of these firms, you'll find quite a few negative reviews about their own services. Now granted, they're attempting to do something that's not easy and are sure to have a success rate that is lower rather than higher. But much of the blame of their own reputation lies squarely at their feet. They have made the cardinal sin of OPUD, overpromising and underdelivering. If you think of ORM as a short-term fix, a band-aid, or a surgery, you will likely be facing the need to conduct more surgeries in the future. But going back to the health analogy, if you can live a healthy life through eating properly, getting exercise, avoiding bad habits, and eating some supplements here, you dramatically reduce your need for surgery. Similarly, if you take a long-term view of your reputation and put in place preventative measures, you will dramatically reduce your need to enact emergency ORM tactics. As the saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So here are some concrete things you can do right now to immunize yourself from the need for sudden ORM. Treat your customers like gold. Speaking of gold, the golden rule comes into play as well. Do unto others as you would have them do to you. The examples of companies that have exceptionally great customer service are legendary in the world of business. Companies like Nordstrom's, Southwest Airlines, Zappos.com, and Costco. Put in place a proactive PR strategy. Tell the world the good things your company or executives are doing. Build relations with the press in your industry. Nothing ranks higher on Google than news articles from credible media outlets. Pay attention to the quality of your product or service. This can be more obvious for product-based companies than for service-based ones. product quality can be seen, felt, experienced, or tasted. And when a product sucks, it usually is pretty obvious what the problem is and how to fix it. For service-based companies, this is more elusive. Service by its very nature is experienced on a personal level, but bad service will quickly send people to sites like Yelp. For some great books on service-based companies, read anything by Harry Beckwith, Beckwith. Titles of his books include What Clients Love and Selling the Invisible. As we've said earlier, if you take complaints seriously and put in place monitoring efforts, you can quickly work to neutralize a bad experience before it gets out of control. You don't have to be a global massive company like Toyota to have a need for crisis management. For small businesses, it can be as simple as making sure the complainer is taken seriously and the situation is resolved to their satisfaction. And finally, this type of mindset needs to permeate an entire company. We mentioned this before, but it bears repeating. Contrary to popular opinion, the salespeople aren't the only ones selling the company. The receptionist is, the business card is, the customer support person is, the owner is, the website is, the email receipt is. Anything and everyone a customer comes in contact with is selling a company. Use a critical eye to observe all of these touch points.
So that was it for today's free lesson. We hope you enjoyed it and you found it informative, and we will see you with the next video tomorrow.
I hope you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for day 2 of our free online reputation training class tomorrow, where you're going to discover how to remove negative comments online. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you tomorrow.